Welcome back to the Tigerium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news in review for August 11th. Depending on where you live, school's back in, you get your house back from the kids, or you have to deal with all that mess too. Let's enjoy this weekend while it's still here, and look at some Transformers, Star Wars, and other great news. And we're going to start talking about Bad Cube real quick. In case you haven't seen my video, Bad Cube is putting out a reissue of these bugs. And I'm going to take a quick moment that I was informed that they have the deluxe, or the ones that I have for sale at Toy Dojo already. They still have those. The thing is, they sell that version, the upgraded version with other stuff, for $80 a piece. They sell them separately. So if you just want to get kickback for $80, you can get their kickback for $80 if you want it. That's a thing you could do. So you rush over to Toy Dojo and get their kickback for $80 because that's way cheaper than the Fans Toys if you want to go that route. So next up in the news, we have this X-Transbot doing a toy color version of their Stunticon. And I have to say, it's a crack up, and I'm not sure why they're on a third set. It's a third set they're starting. And I think it's going a bit too far. I like the idea of the G2 recolor. I mean, I kind of like that. Now, I don't understand this, but then again, they did have the very first release they put out for probably a little bit, like barely above cost, for $40. Now this thing's gonna be a little more than that, but I think it looks okay. I would have preferred maybe they went with a whiter white or something, or just giving us a white option. I'm not a big fan of the cream color. It doesn't just completely throw the set off, and you won't even see this thing. It's me on the back of the leg anyway, but it's cool. I mean, this is the toy homage. It's got stickers and stuff like that. It's kind of cool looking. But it's not for me. I think the packaging looks really cool on this. It's pretty slick. I like it. I like the whole G1-esque look to it. But then, of course, everybody's saying about the same thing about it. I wish we would have had all of them packaged in similar type packaging. It would have been cooler. I am a package buff. I keep my boxes. I've made that video. But I don't know. What do you guys think? So Zeta is making a Bumblebee movie Blitzwing, and it's the prototype, and it actually looks kind of cool. Yes, I know I'm going to get the backlash when I say what I like about it. It looks G1-ish. I mean, it looks like something we would have gotten out of G1. That's why I like it, and it's cool. That is something that I can appreciate about this figure. But aside from that, I personally am not a huge fan of the majority of the Bayverse designs. And this is kind of, I think, a slight mixture between the two. But the homage to the G1 and then a little bit to the Bayverse, I understand it, and it's cool. I still want to call them Starscream. So there's this 6-God combination God Mars, the GX40R, Sola Chigokin. I'm not really too familiar with the show that this comes from. I know it's anime from the 80s, from 80 to 82, 81, 82, something along those lines. And 6-God United God Mars. And I just think it looks cool. Like, I have no tie to this whatsoever. But I start to think, like, what do you put next to a Voltron? And if you're a big Voltron buff, this might be something that just looks cool standing next to your Voltron. I don't think that the universes collide at all, ever. But it's still pretty cool, and each individual bot looks cool too. And this is just basically a combiner. And this is kind of sort of how I picture, I don't know, Raiden to look like. Maybe I'm wrong. If Zeta ever decides they're gonna get onto Raiden, maybe it looks similar to this in a way. So we got Iron Factory making figures that are sort of their own take, kind of a stylized version of Leo Convoy and Bludgeon. And the Leo Convoy, the Masterpiece one, looks really good. I don't know if we'd want to I don't know who this is for. I don't know what size this is. I don't really know what it's all about, but I know they make a lot of Legends figures, so I'm assuming a Legends size. And it doesn't look like it has the detailing, so it does kind of look like it'd be a smaller figure. But anyway, they are interesting looking, and I know that Iron Factory's just got a huge following for whatever they put out. And so moving into all this wonderful good stuff, we have some pictures of the packaging of the Siege, Optimus Prime, and Megatron that have the cell shading. Now I have these pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to getting these in, and this will be my first time handling these Siege figures. In fact, I think I only have like a handful of Siege figures, aside from those little blast effect ones I pick up real cheap. But these guys, I haven't handled them yet, and I'm gonna see how good they are, and I like them. I'll review them on the channel and all that great stuff. But I'm loving the look of Prime. I'm a little questionable about the look of Megatron, but I think the Prime stands out a little bit better and looks a little bit cleaner because of the windshield. Just the way that hole looks, it just looks great. Okay, so if you're like me and you've already bought your Reflector, and you bought all three of them separately, and you like them, and you prefer the Toon look, and you don't want to spend 70 bucks just to basically get parts for that, you can. TF Safari has these coming in. These are upgrade parts to make your Reflector look more like the toy, and they're pretty cool. Now this set here is $26.99. And then there's another set that's like $23.99, and I'm just not sure which one's better. Okay, this is called the MTO Timheda TH004S2 upgrade kit for the Siege Reflector, and it looks pretty good too. Now this one actually has a little side piece with it. I think they actually no. This one has a little side piece. The other kit doesn't. So there's two different kits to choose from. If you go to the TF Safari page and check it out, it's interesting. But you can also get gap fillers for another like 13 bucks. So once you add this on, then you have the gap fillers, you're looking at a $100 set. And by then you're into Make Toys money and buying Make Toys set. So that's kind of what do you want. So I want to say that we are finding the Siege Jetfire, the Commander class, at Walmart. And I gotta admit, it feels weird finding them at Walmart. Because we haven't found anything bigger than a liter size at a Walmart for some time. And yes, there are some rare occasions where Trypticons showed up, but I think that had to do with an online order getting returned to the store, or two. We've had a couple of rare situations where you get a couple of real old figures show up. And that's just the way it goes. But this is just normal part of business, and it's showing up everywhere, and it has a placement, and that's cool. It's exciting, like actually getting to see it. I'll be doing my review of that pretty soon myself. So we got some in-package pictures of, this is Hit and Power Punch. We got a few more to look at too. We have Rung. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I like the blast effects. I think that's something that's really cool, and it's something that we kind of probably need a little more of in the Masterpiece line. There's some of this in the Masterpiece line, but there's not a whole lot. And I'm wondering how much of this could transfer over, but this makes for great scenes if you're really making out some battle scenes. I love it. I love that they've done this. So really awesome that they did it. And this one here is Singe. Cool looking battle. So it seems as though every day or every couple of days we're hearing about another outlet for international buyers to buy this thing. And we've got EB Games and Zing popping up for Australian buyers, saying that you could buy this through them. And so the HasLab Unicron is, well, we've got 20 days left to get this thing funded. And it will fund, and if you don't get your order in, you'll just miss out. And if you're one of those waiting for it to fund, and it funds at 8 o'clock that night, and you miss out, well, you miss out. But I'll be doing another update here in 4 or 5 days, something like that. But just want to let you know it's getting more partners on board to get this thing distributed, and there's so much of a push behind it now. I also heard there's, I guess, a Mighty 8 is officially backing in New Zealand. So that was a viewer submitted, so I don't know much about it. Check that out. Hey, if you're in New Zealand and you're looking into this, then check it out, because more facets for international get this. And I did have somebody tell me that it's going to cost them about $1,000 to get it in the UK, ordering through BBTS or TF Source, one of those. And so, it shouldn't be like that. Just because you're international doesn't mean you should have to pay a ridiculous amount for this thing. You should be able to get it for the same price we get it here in the States. And next up, there's this pictures of this Cybertron Hotshot. It looks like a repaint of Pound. Like, that's an interesting stretch, but it's interesting. It's different colors. It's sort of cool looking, and of course, Hasbro's going to try to get everything they can out of the mold. Okay, transitioning into Star Wars news, I wanted to show something that I thought was really cool. I was at a Comic-Con in Dallas, and these guys had set up the Snowspeeder, and my kids got to sit in it and take pictures in it, and it looks really cool. And these guys have like some helmets you can put on, and my kids were already dressed in Star Wars costumes, so it was just a lot of fun for them to go experience this and be part of this. And I like stuff like this. So every time we go and there's something like this, we're part of it. I take the pictures. We look at the pictures. The kids remember it like it's yesterday. Without the pictures, they probably would forget it even happened. But it's a whole lot of fun, and then the people doing it are always dressed up. So it's almost like getting to go to a small version of maybe the Disney World experience. But this is super, super original trilogy right here. So coming to, an everywhere near you soon, on October 4th, we are going to have Triple Force Friday. Triple Force Friday is supposed to have a lot of new product coming out for Star Wars. And if there's stuff that you're into, there are quite a few different things they're going to be releasing. They're going to be releasing it for the Star Wars Saga. The Episode 9 figures will be coming out. The Mandalorian TV show's coming out in November. There's going to be some Mandalorian figures out there, just a couple of them. And then there's some stuff that'll be going along with the Fallen Order, the video game. And I expect to see some original trilogy stuff, but they haven't announced that. But Triple Force Friday is supposed to be a big deal. I don't think that the last one, last year, was anything at all. Like, I showed up trying to see if there was anything cool. I'm always trying to be part of this stuff, but I don't buy a whole lot. And then the big question on everyone's mind about this is who's actually going to go out and pay full price when 90% of Star Wars stuff's been sold at steep clearance over the last couple of years. Although there's a handful of things I'm after, and this is one of them. The newly redesigned Tatooine skiff, courtesy of our friends at Bantha Skull. They've got a ton of pictures of this thing, and a ton of pictures of a very well set up diorama with all the figures on it. And I can't wait to get mine opened up and do a little bit of review on it. I got a bunch of other stuff I'm kind of doing ahead of that, and I kind of want to get a couple. I'm real weird about this. I got 3 ordered, and I want to get all 3 of them in, and I want to use the worst box as the one I opened. So that's the way I look at it. So if you have an Aldi's, the newest wave of figures, or one of the newer waves of figures, is for the Black Series 6-inch Star Wars are $6. Like, I don't have an Aldi's near here. There's one opening up about an hour and a half away, meaning that I won't be able to get anything there because it'll just get picked clean before I drive up there, once every 3 months. But yeah, you can get these guys. Like, I picked these up at Walmart for like $15 each. And I would have much rather paid $6, let me tell you that, for sure. But if you're into it, if they have the battle droids, you can true build them battle droids for $6 a piece. Wow. So if you collect Black Series, I think you already know about what's going on with SH Figuarts, which is similar scale, probably a little bit smaller, but they're real close to the same size as Black Series Star Wars figures. And SH Figuarts they're officially announced this Force Awakens Han Solo and the Last Jedi Luke from crate, and they always do a really great job. The figures are just awesome, very, very posable, very lifelike. They look really good, and there's no price on them, but these things do run a pretty hefty price tag. Well, way more than the $20 price you pay for Black Series. So it's looking like you're probably going to have to order all of your figures off the internet. I've had no luck getting these. They're not showing up at retail yet. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but I was hoping to catch these from like Walmart while they're still charging only like $10 for that class of figure, and they're smart enough to not put these out while they're clearancing out the old stuff. But the problem is, if you order them online and you order a case for a good price, then you're actually buying multiples of figures you don't need or want. And you can go to Entertainment Earth and pick these up. That's probably the best place to get these right now. I know you can order some individual ones on Amazon. Prices are up and down and all over the place over there on Amazon. So Entertainment Earth's a good place. Now I could throw a few links to Amazon for you down below so you can see if you want to get individual figures, because I don't think they sell the individual figures. So when you deal with Entertainment Earth, you have to get them all or nothing. And for those of you who are into Thundercats, there's something happening with Thundercats with Super 7 tomorrow. So I don't know if their Super 7 is actually going to get into making like the bigger size ones, or they're just going to make them look like they're $15 on retro cards like they did with all the other stuff that they do. But we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. And the last bit of business and bit of news is double dipping on something I've talked about in another video, and double dipping in the same video talking about the HasLab Unicron again. Before I talk about this, there was rumors Zeta was going to come out with more information on their Unicron today, and they did not. They did not. But the HasLab thing's such a big deal that we actually have Star Wars sites talking about it. Bantha Skull is showing, because they've kept records of pretty much each week or so every so often how many backers there were, and they're showing that Unicron's actually behind them. But it doesn't worry me. Anyway, like, subscribe, let me know what you think about this week's news. Hey, is there anything interesting that popped up this week that we haven't talked about? Leave it in the comments section below. HasLab Unicron out.